Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, the Norwegian campaign, or Scandinavian campaign, in the Dreadnought Improvement Project, the Great Game. And Spain is asking for pain. And we're now at war. Let's see. How does that impact our relation with France? Also, Austro-Hungarian Empire has been dissolved because Britain just took Croatia last turn. Let's see, because I was quite negative with France as well. Minus 58. Okay, it was minus 80. So they like me a bit more now that I'm at war with Spain. Which they also are. Let's see, Spain, what kind of ships do you have? You don't have much of a navy, do you? I was kind of hoping for maybe a war with France as well, because they went and took these islands before I got the chance to do it. But we can still take Puerto Rico. Let's see here. These two will be ready in 2 months. Let's add some crew to these two battlecruisers. And what else do I have in Bergen? A light cruiser, which ironically is built in Spain, or Spanish built. Well, they don't have any torpedo boats or DDs, do they? So I don't really need much of an escort. I can just send this force out to actually, I think I will leave that light cruiser behind. It just doesn't have the range. It's kind of old. But 2 battlecruisers should be enough. 44,000 tons. I got this force too, sitting here. I'm kind of waiting for stereoscopic rangefinder 3 to give them a quick refit, and also in the same time give them the Krupp 1 armor, making them a bit better. Let's see, now that I'm making money again, that should still leave me at a surplus, I think. Yes. So let's do that. Yeah, plus 27 million. Not bad. And I'm mainly doing this for the shipbuilding capacity. No, not so much because of the shipyard size, because I don't really have any ports yet that can take any ships that are that big, nor do I have the hulls for it. But getting that bump to my shipbuilding capacity is always nice, even if it's expensive. So let's just leave that at that. In fact, let's see. Any of these ships have any decent range? The old pre-Dreadnought battleships, not bad in terms of range. I can send them down there too. Harald Hårfagre and Odin. Drufur Freydis, they are in Stockholm and Oslo. They got decent range. So let's Let's add them to the task force. Let's collect them here at Esbag so they can move together. From there and down to the Caribbean. It's going to be quite a bit of a an outdated force, but Spain doesn't have that much. But I would like to have some extra ships just in case France decides to join in. An alliance with Russia? I don't think so. I don't think so, government. And not Britain either. But let's move this little task force here. Also down to Puerto Rico. No, the Germans are taking it? Man. Am I gonna be too late for that? Why did Spain have to go and pick a fight with everyone? Of course, I'm almost allied to Germany, so yeah. But maybe if the Germans are slow at sending their ships here, I might be able to launch get the invasion first. Unless the game doesn't allow two nations to invade the same area at the same time. I'm not sure if that's the case. My battle cruisers will be there in 1 month. And it seems we have a strike. They didn't have any ships defending it though, so no actual battle. Alright, Spain. What can I invade here? Dominican Republic? Sure. Let's do that instead then. Apparently the Germans are taking Puerto Rico from me. If I place it here, then they should be in range. Well, they do have a battleship there, but I'm guessing it's being repaired or something. They also have a battleship here. Not sure where it's going. Might get a battle with that cruiser though. See, these things are getting there. And maybe I can then also pull off an invasion of Haiti. Yeah, that might work. Fine. Didn't get the Virgin Islands back, but if I can get the Dominican Republic and Haiti, might not be such a bad thing. Maybe I can even be a bit cheeky and take Cuba. Let's see, 2 months until coincidence 3. Also focusing these engines. Yeah, it's still 2 months even if I reprioritize the guns. Mark II 15s. Alright, let's take on this too. %. Can I also take Haiti, or is that being invaded by the Germans? Yeah, let's take Let's take Haiti as well. Before the Germans do it. There. You can move these to here, so maybe they can just be in both invasions. Sure. Let's see if the Spanish actually send a warship my way. They do have some ships left. They're not completely out of ships. Let's see, how about France? Minus 60 with France. Minus 64 with the Byzantine Empire. I don't really feel like fighting them. Because they don't really have anything I want to invade. And like Spain, they don't have a lot of warships. You might get some action with the Spanish. Let's untick that one because it's going to be 1 month anyway. And small guns, sure. And we do get a meeting. First, the strike. That means the meeting is with the 2 battlecruisers fighting 1 torpedo boat. Alright, Spain. Let's think of it as target practice. Now, being a torpedo boat, it is probably a bit outdated. It's to the east. It is close. And it is spotting me. Let's see, what kind of fuel do I have? 93% fuel. Really not bad. There we go. We're firing. 14.9 knot cruising speed. Did not get to check out what kind of torpedo range it had. Oh, it's one of these. I've seen these before. Leftover from the previous war. Let's get those 13s firing. There we go. Or maybe more like this. That could work. Yeah, good enough. And we're scoring some hits. Overpens though, being 13-inch guns versus a torpedo boat. But now the secondaries are joining in. And this should be over pretty soon. Yeah, there she goes. Alright. So, they can hold themselves against a very outdated torpedo boat. That, I would be disappointed if that were not the case. So, it does look like my battlecruisers are actually in both invasion zones at once. And sufficient to get both to 100%. So, I can also launch an invasion of Cuba and send the pre-dreadnoughts there. Okay, Spain, where did you go to? Here you are. 47,000 tons, okay. I'm gonna need probably both task forces to get that up to 100%. Yeah. But let's just have it opened first. This will conclude next turn, so that's fine. And I don't know which port the invasion will center on. Could be Havana or Santiago. Either or. Well, my other two battlecruisers are actually now ready. So they can head out here as well. It's going to cost me a bit of money having all of them at sea, but there we go. It's not too bad, minus 4 million a turn. That is not going to completely wreck my economy. I can take that hit for a while. Let's see here. How about that refit of my dreadnoughts now that I got the new rangefinder? Just a very, very quick refit. Crop 1 armor. Coincidence 3 rangefinder. Shells are decent. White powder. It is not available anymore. Let's stick to the white powder and not increase flash fire chance by going with the cordite. And we'll upgrade the secondary 5-inch guns though to Mark 3s. Oh, the ship didn't like that. No, these are suddenly badly placed. So we're gonna have to replace them. I think these are good now. You know, fits. If I cut you down to just 5-inch guns, then will you now fit? No. I mean, almost. If I up the beam by 1%. I don't want to completely remove them because then the refit time actually goes up. There we go. That looks worse, but because the turrets grew, that's how it's got to be. At least now they are Mark III. Better rate of fire, accuracy, all that stuff. Good, nice. I cannot up the range. No, I cannot. So these are more for close to shore encounters, or at least European theater. Let's go with that. And there's been some talk of reducing the weight of casemate, so maybe in time, if that takes effect, I will replace those 5-inch turrets that ended up overhanging the side of the hull, replace them with casemate mounts instead, because that's just going to look better. But for the time being, casemates are a bit too heavy for what they are. And unrest went down to 0, which means, yes, my invasion succeeded. Nice. But still, no sight of actual Spanish warships. Well, there's one. No sight of Spanish warships, I say, and there's one sitting right there. Battleship and a light cruiser. That should be a nice encounter. $17,000 tons combined. That might be a pre-dreadnought. Let's head out. My own pre-dreadnoughts should be enough to complete this invasion here of Haiti. That increased my GDP by a little bit. Not super valuable. Well, it's a billion. 1.1 billion. It's not too bad. Spending $1 million a turn for the refit. No, it's mostly the maintenance of having my ships out at sea being a bit expensive. My battlecruisers are costing me 11 million per ship per month while being at sea. Somehow these two are already veterans. Maybe from the strike missions? Not sure. No, I still do not want to ally with you, Russia. I'm gonna keep fighting Spain for now. I get a strike mission instead of that battle. And I get Haiti. Nice. And here is indeed the invasion. Should be enough. Yeah, I should get a battle now that we're not doing strike missions. Alright. Back up to positive monthly balance. Nice. Possibly because I took that island. It gained me some GDP. Cuba is gonna get me a lot more though. That's a valuable island. Let's go. And we do now get a meeting again with a battleship. And it is actually a dreadnought type battleship, the Al Felipe. It's not a pre-dreadnought. It's a real dreadnought. Okay, it's gonna be a bit of a challenge. It's got more guns than my battlecruisers, possibly more armor. But it is also slower. And by the looks of it, it might be one of the battle hexagon type battleships. Which means it will not be able to bring all those guns to bear. That's a layout. There we go. Huge forebelt. Mark II 13.1s. Ballistite TNT-1. It could be explosive. Barbette 1. Single hull bottom. Decent armor though, 14.1 on the main belt. But that huge forebelt might be a bit of a weakness, as is its gun layout. Probably doesn't have the best firing angles ever. How far away are you? 30 kilometers? Yeah, we're gonna have to get a little bit closer. You got 16.2 kilometer range on your main guns. At 10,000 meters, 2.8% chance to hit. I got 3%, so not that much of a difference. I'm gonna turn to sail parallel. And my main guns will soon be in range. You're doing 18.5 knots. Fender is already opening fire. Got him joining in. These are not the veteran crew ones though, these are the other ones. For 73% armor quality. Yeah, no, we're gonna have to get a little bit closer before we can go through that kind of armor. At least the main belt. Yeah, 14-1 on the main belt. At 10,000, I can potentially go through. And they score the first flooding hit on Fenris on the forebelt. Now my ships are already loading AP, that is fine. And another flooding hit. I want both of you firing AP. The HE stuff is not that effective. Yeah, going through the four belts. Yeah, they got a good chance to hit here. There we go. Their main tower is out. So their chance to hit is way down. They still hit though. And they hit pretty hard. But they've got 2 engines out, and a lot of flooding. If I can make them flood a little bit more, they should not be able to fire back. Fenris took quite a bit of damage from those hits. Garm is taking damage too. But this might be too much of an angle for at least most of her turrets. %6 buoyancy. Yeah, thinking this was quite a tough ship in terms of a resistance, but not too bad. Which turret do we have that is still firing back? Pretty big hits there. Somehow still combat effective. Need to get some flooding on the stern. There we go. That might be it. Yep, there she goes. Alright, not, despite how it looked, not a battleship to be underestimated. Because it had just enough armor that I had to get a little bit closer than I probably should have, or closer than my ships would want to get. 76%. You got a battleship. Here's that battleship and light cruiser. Alright. Hel, Jormungandr. You're coming here. You're joining up with Garm. Where did Fenris go? Here. It's being repaired for 4 months. Okay. With all my ships in the zone, I should be able to get this. And also sink the other Spanish battleship. Which was the one I was actually chasing. The one in the division with the light cruiser. I wonder if it's the same class. Let's see. Let's see what we're up against. Hector. No, that's not the same class. And it's also got 2 armored cruisers and a light cruiser with it. I've got 3 battlecruisers, so yeah, the fight is on. 10,000 tons. This has to be some kind of pre-dreadnought, right? It probably is. Oh, it definitely is. Let's see, regular crew on Garm, veterans on Hel and Jormungand. Nice. That light cruiser they have might actually be fairly modern. Just judging by the silhouette. There they are. Let's see what we're up against. Yeah, already damaged pre-dreadnought battleship. Not too worried about this. Only 9-kilometer range, Mark 1 12-inch guns, okay. Armored cruiser. Not worried about that at all. Yeah, compared to the previous fight, this should be quite a bit easier. Even though we're fighting more ships. They are definitely outdated. Yeah, no, I remember these. It's the same as from that big second Battle of Jutland? Was it? Or was it the first one? Whichever it was where I was fighting Spain and not France. No, that's gotta be the second one. Because I was using ships I'd captured from France. Yeah, that's how it went. Hel has opened fire at 15 kilometers. Far outside of the range of the enemy guns. We can even slow down quite a bit. 14.9 cruising speed. Let's take a look at the light cruiser. This is not a leftover from the last war. It's got decent torpedoes. It's got decent speed. I can outrun it if it starts getting too close. But I'm just gonna have my guns try and take it out, I think. All the secondaries. When and if it gets closer. Lepanto. 7% chance to hit from Hel. And rising quickly. There we go. Scoring the first hits. A couple of salvos should be all it takes. Overpenning the fore and aft belts. I'm worried about those torpedoes, though. There we go. Good penetrations. And I think Lepanto is going down with that. Possibly. Or does it need another salvo? There she goes. I'm pretty sure. 0.8, 0.1. Goodbye. 28 million. They're paying 43 million for these abominations. Wow. Um, Something has gone on with the with the ship designer here. Something strange going on. I'm not sure how they managed that. It's even got like torpedo tubes and stuff mounted outside of the ship. Yeah, that looks like a bug of some kind. The game thinking they're built on a different type of hull. That's probably what it is. That is probably what it is. There you go, scoring flooding hits on Hector. Which, Yodaman Gun, you have done quite a bit of damage. Got him also. You know, we can risk getting closer here. We don't need to be taking pot shots at max range. I'm not that worried about any of this stuff. 12.4 knots. At least I know Spain now has a light cruiser class that is not terrible. Neither was the one they had in the previous war. That was also quite good. And they have a Dreadnought battleship, which is actually more than a match for my battlecruisers. And something I should be more careful with if I face it again. But they also have some absolute pre-Dreadnought abominations sailing around. There we go, lots of damage being landed. This should net me a nice chunk of victory points. I might even dare to ask Spain for some of those Dreadnought type battleships. Or light cruisers, depending on how much money I get from them. Maybe I'll just take the money, or maybe I'll take some islands and territory. Because now I actually have ships that can go places and defend the islands if needed. And there we go. Now, does Spain has anything left now? They were quite short on ships when we started this war, as they've been fighting a bunch of nations and losing a lot of territory. France is taking on like the Iberian Peninsula. Spain did take Portugal and a lot of Portuguese territory here. Portugal exists in Do they still exist? Yeah, they do. They exist in theory. They got 5 provinces, probably some kind of islands somewhere. Spain has 3 heavy cruisers left, and they are probably those abominations that we just saw. How's this invasion now? 100%. Very nice. So we're getting Cuba. We got Puerto Rico and Haiti. So far, kind of happy with that. Let's see. I am getting Advanced Battlecruiser 1 in 10 months. In 17, I'm getting Mark II 16-inch guns. So when that happens, we're gonna build some bigger battlecruisers, because I do like my battlecruisers. In the meantime, I do have Dreadnought 2 available, and I do have Mark II 15-inch guns. So let's take a stab at designing a bigger Dreadnought battleship. It's one of these things. I'm not a fan of these hulls. 29,000 tons maximum displacement. If I instead go with the Dreadnought 1, which is not the one I built the Fryktløs on, that was small Dreadnought. Not quite as big, but I think it can do, let's see, what's the best tower you can get on this? 3,900. I mean, we can try build something here. We can use these for secondaries, maybe. Let's put that there. Or actually more like this. Terrible funnels. Different flavors of terrible funnels. "21 knots. Max bulkheads. Turbines induced. Do I have to go with forced? I guess I do. I'm gonna have to find another name for it, because this name is still in use. Now, what kind of is this the one that cannot have barbettes mounted? Yeah, it is. Okay, so my plan was to yeah, no, I can't even cheese it. My plan was to have barbettes like here and here, and do a normal ABXY layout for the main guns, and use these cutouts for secondaries. I don't really feel like doing wing turrets, so we're going with this one, Odin, which will not be named Odin. I have to find something else. Still going with cramped quarters. Probably. And again, we got different flavors of not very good funnels. But with induced, we can make that work. And this time we can go with barbettes. Mark II 15s. Yes. Alright, the main gun layout is laid out. Why is the beam so narrow? I mean, I like my slim ships, but this is very narrow. Hydraulic steering. Krupp 1. Get all that good stuff. Brings resistance up to 82. Which isn't very good. Like, not very good at all. Actually, let's go increase HE on the secondaries. TNT 1, yes. 56 flash fire channels. 46 with cordite. Okay, 5,000 tons to do the armor. Might even have to drop down to 14-inch guns on this. Let's do a quick comparison. 400 tons, 487 tons. 20 kilometer. 22 kilometer. 69 second reload, 68 second reload. At 15,000 we got 17 inches of belt pen, 1.4% accuracy. 14.9 inches and 1.3. Okay, so reload time is about the same. These are heavier, but they hit harder. Quite a bit harder. So maybe 15s for now. We'll see how it goes when I add the armor, or if this is just not a ship that can actually be built reasonably. Yeah, there we go. Turret armor weighing a lot. Barbette armor also weighing a lot. If I drop you down to 20 knots, does not make a big difference. That's just a 100-ton difference. If I go with the 14s, give them the same amount of armor. What kind of deck penetrations are we looking at here with these? 1,000 and 1,300. I guess we are going with the 14s. We are going with the 14s after all. And that still leaves us without any secondaries. Fine, let's drop down the main belt and slightly the turret armor. And if we go with light shells, that also helps the flash fire chance. And there we go. No longer overweight. We did it. We made a battleship. A battleship that Can we go with forced instead of induced? There's no second funnel slot here. Unless I move it like that, can I actually fit? No. Okay, we got less than 100 tons to spare. How to spend that? I mean, at least the guns are pretty good. If I drop the radio, it doesn't weigh that much, actually. It doesn't weigh that much, it doesn't cost that much. So we're keeping the radio. It should help us get better battles when they are stationed in ports. At least in theory. 33.2% flash fire chance is not great. Get Mark 3 6-inch guns now. Would be very nice to be able to have some of these. But they do weigh a lot. And I'm not sure what I want to drop here either. If I drop the range, I mean that's bad range. And this is still bad range. Well, it's workable range, but it's not like policing the planet kind of range. Which I guess these ships will just not be doing. Okay, let's place these barbettes slightly differently. Alright, not there. How about there? And then there. Okay, that works. Decent secondary battery already. They need a little bit of armor. The 6-inch turrets. Can't put that much armor on them, but there they go. 10-kilometer range. Should actually be decent for dealing with light cruisers and the like. If I move these turrets further back here. Overweight, but just by a little bit. Just by a tiny, teeny bit. Did I even move it back? No, I don't think I did. Let's try and have it still centered. There we go. Solved. Still a tiny bit of an aft weight offset, but that's okay. And if casemates become lighter in future versions, there's a lot of room for them here, which is nice. And in a refit then, I can drop the 6-inch down to maybe 5-inch, and have a bunch of 6-inch casemates here along the sides. That will be nice. Alright, so we designed a battleship. Now, what to name it? I'm gonna think of something. Tuppet, meaning courageous, which kind of fits in with the fearless theme of the first generation dreadnoughts. So there it is, my first second generation dreadnought. Non, is it a super dreadnought? I'm not sure if I can call it that. It's not quite as big as something like a Bayern or Queen Elizabeth. It doesn't quite have the guns. It almost did, but I had to reduce it down to 14s. So, if not a super dreadnought, it's at least it's an okay dreadnought. And that's okay with me. So now that's being built in Oslo. Just one of them for now. I could probably build one more in somewhere else. But here's the another thing that's a challenge with playing as Scandinavia is that my port capacity is not very good. Highest one I have is Copenhagen at 83,000 tons. That does not leave a lot of room for big dreadnoughts. And I'm not really getting big port capacities out of the places I'm taking over either. At least when I take Cuba, I'm gonna have ports that can actually fit a battlecruiser, unlike any of these. So that'll be something. Yeah, the Germans are having the same problem here in Puerto Rico. San Juan cannot fit their battleship. And when your ships are in ports that are too small, well, that ends up costing a bit more than it otherwise would. I'm not sure exactly how much more though. And somehow the fender is being repaired. It's actually cheaper than her sisters being out at sea. But that's how it goes. Anyway, that's it for now. We are finally fighting a war again. It's not much of a war. Spain doesn't have that much. But maybe France will join the fun. That would be something. Because then there would be things here that I can take. Like the Virgin Islands. And maybe even something in Central America. Do we have good port capacities here? Not really. Of course, there is if I was able to take like actual French territory here, then I would actually have some place to park some bigger ships in the future. But maybe that is asking too much and just not realistic, because I don't think I have the tonnage to take this. We'll see in the future maybe. Goodbye and take care.